goes. Niecy, and I got my girls next to me, which is
Keisha.
Sorry, that was We're gonna go ahead and cut to the chase, y'all. We're gonna jump into this thing expeditiously.
I love it. All right.
So the big thing right now is T.I. says that he visits the gynecologist with his daughter to ensure that she's still a virgin. Of course, this has created like a media stir up because some people saying, well, she's grown. I disagree. I don't think that you should, have exposed that and you should be in a room with your daughter. But then you have others, on the other hand, expressing, like me, that I don't see anything wrong with it. I see him being an active parent. Now, we can stick to the narrative, and are we dealing with the fact that he still goes to the doctors with his daughter to ensure that she's still a virgin, or are people mad because he exposed that this is what he does with his daughter and it was put on national television or on podcast or whatever, however he exposed it? What do people like?
Are we hearing that? Can you run that real quick?
Are we able to play the?
No, this is just the actual post.
Oh, okay, the actual post. Okay.
I think with me, it's more so of how it was put out there. I'm not saying he's not an active father. I'm not saying he's not doing his part as a father. I just think some things just need to be private. Maybe it was a conversation that was on a podcast and it kind of brought it out and brought it up, but I still just don't feel like it should have been something that should have been broadcast because of the feedback that came after that. It was negative.
But here's the thing, and see, this is where I kind of feel like we dehumanize people because we attack them, and then we don't realistically put ourselves in those situations. Mm-hmm. So we could be in a room, or we could be generally having a conversation like we having on this podcast,
True.
And I can go into a conversation subconsciously saying something, not realizing that I'm affecting my kids.
Right.
I think he was just in the heat of the moment, whatever topic they was discussing. He said, "Well, no, this is what I do, or I still go to the doctor with my daughter." Now I'm sticking to the narrative, and the narrative is I go to ensure that she's still a virgin. Now, us being parents, we all know if our parent came to us and we was young, whether we was 18, because you could be 18 and mentally still be 15.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if your parents came to you and said, "Are you having sex?" How many was honest?
Well, I went to my mom.
I ain't saying shit.
I went to my mom.
But see, okay, so now we have the difference.
What, get stomped the fuck out?
So like now you have the active parent, right? So now you have the active, and I think that's why he do it, because he knows he's been a teenager, and a ruthless ass teenager.
I guess it's probably different for me because I came to my mom and I told my mom at 15 what I was doing, and my mom was very open with it. We sat down, we talked, and we went on to the different avenues of keeping yourself safe. I guess it's the relationship that I have with my mom that I felt that comfortable to come to my mom and tell her. She didn't have to ask me. I was like, I got to tell you something. I need to talk to you about something. And I told her, and it was very open. So it could be maybe the relationship or how you feel or what it is, but I didn't have to have my mom ask me, "Why are you a virgin?" or grill me about anything. I was pretty much kind of open.
Well, Keisha, let me ask you this. So, what if you had a relationship with your dad like that? Could you come to your father and say,
"No"?
That's because what I'm saying.
I don't have that relationship with
my
dad.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Some people can't relate.
So in reality, I can't relate to that because I don't have that relationship to my dad, and I wouldn't tell my dad because I don't have that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I still, to this day, at 35, don't have that relationship. I'm kind of like, my business is my business. Whatever I decide I want to share with you, I'm going to share with you.
But for the most part,
but with my stepfather, it's a different story.
Right.
My stepfather has been in my life since I was 10. So that's pretty much
so would you go to him?
I would tell my stepfather.
Right.
I would definitely tell my stepfather because I do have a different relationship with my stepfather than I have with my biological father. I feel more comfortable because I have lived in a household with my stepfather to tell him this is what I'm doing. Or, you know what I'm saying? I feel more comfortable with that. But with my dad, I I can't sit here and say that I do. I don't feel that way with my biological dad, but with my stepfather, because he's been around, I've been in a household with him for so long.
But if I could remember
a sense of comfortability
back to T.I. though, but if I do remember, I don't remember her mom really being there as much as he was.
All I know is they don't expose it.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that is
TV,
privately,
so I don't know.
but it seems as though he's very close with his children regardless. Now, I agree and then I disagree. What I disagree with is that he actually talked about his daughter's vagina on TV. And that is fucked up because we living in, it's the same shit, just different time, and it's kind of more ruthless. Mm-hmm. And he knows better than that. I don't give him a pass on it because he's in the life.
Right.
So he should have known better.
Right.
So you are basically challenging these niggas, and you never know. Your best motherfucking friend, your man, probably looking at your daughter the whole time. So that was what pissed me off with him. And he has a controlling spirit. Mm-hmm. That just is him. Mm-hmm. I love T.I. I love his strength or whatever, but he is very controlling, it seems.
Definitely agree.
And when it comes to your 18-year-old daughter, she needs space. A girl needs space regardless because now he's giving her a chance to finally pop her pussy. You know what I'm saying? Who says that she didn't pop the other one? Just not that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the word.
You know what I'm saying? He might can think that in whatever when he leaves out the room or whatever she calls her doctor on the phone about and talks to, the doctor cannot, share that with him.
Exactly.
So, I mean, he can't really say, I know everything. But that goes back to the control thing.
Yeah, but it goes back to old parenting styles. Like, I mean, let's be honest.
I get what you're saying.
How many times we know parents do certain things to put fear into your kids. Like, you're not gonna play with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right,
so if you can try it if you want, but I know more than you.
Right, but how many kids test their patience? I mean, test their parents stuff.
I always tested mine.
How many kids?
So you never know.
They may have that in their head. Yeah, if I do this or that, my parent gonna do this and that. But how many of us test our parents? You know how many times I sneak motherfuckers in my house knowing that my mother will fuck.
You know how many times I stole that car?
But she was willing to take that risk to do it.
And she may be the same way. She may be willing to take a different risk to where he can't.
But who's to say that she wasn't comfortable to say, well, I want my daddy
We don't know.
That goes back to what I said.
You're absolutely right.
But that goes back to what I said.
People were jumping down his throat because they were saying, well, your daughter's 18, so that's inappropriate within itself. And my opinion is,
no, it's not.
The world that we living in now, we need more dads to go with their daughters and make sure that they being honest and telling the truth.
I agree with that.
I agree.
The only thing he's
man how to be a parent to his child. That's somebody he take care of.
But that's just like goes back to the Alicia Keys thing.
We can't
and her painting her, letting her son paint.
That's bullshit.
No,
I ain't fucking doing it. That's bullshit. But it's still on the same. It's still one. But I think a lot of people are there
because you guys are still telling this lady to not let her child do one thing, but then you guys say, well, it's okay for T.I. to do this. It's one and the same. You still telling her what to do with her child.
We're talking about what's morally right.
No. How many times?
But that's morally right to her.
Exactly.
It's not more.
So her as a
mother. That's her morally right to her.
Those are her kids, so morally that may feel right to her as a parent, and that feels morally right to T.I. So you can't separate the two and say, "Oh, well, Alicia Keys, you bad for doing this, but T.I., you okay for doing this." It's the same.
But far as T.I., like I said, he shouldn't have addressed. He shouldn't have talked personally about his daughter pussy on live set. He shouldn't have did that. He should have said, I believe my daughter is still a virgin. And left it at that. He didn't have to say
I don't think he
that.
was.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't realize, but at the point, but that goes back to me saying how he wanted to prove how much in control of his household he was. That he has. And that shit is not right.
It's not right.
If you're going to be in that much control of your household, be it that way. But don't share with everybody because you know everybody is going to address their opinion about your shit.
Yep.
And if you can't handle that, you put more on your daughter.
Yep.
Fuck you. You put more on your daughter.
The dangerous result because
she's older.
Trying to say, well, dang, she a virgin, and then especially now in times when we dealing with human trafficking.
Exactly. They looking for her.
That is
you just opened the door.
Yeah, you opened the door for her and made it like a pimp. You know what I'm saying? You might as well say you her pimp.
Yep.
Like I said, a lot of people look at it differently. But like when I was like 11, I go to the doctor with my stepdad.
Right.
And he was about to walk out the room when she came out. I was like, no, I want my dad in here.
Right.
You know, it was a problem. Like she walked out the room and was gone for a while and came back. She proceeded or whatever. And then she took him to the side and talked about that it's a problem that I wanted him to be in the room while they were looking at me. That's fucked up. And it's fucked up for any woman. Yeah, this was back in the day when Landover Mall had the little doctors in there. You know what I'm talking about. So you know that shit was a long time ago. So back then, that wasn't even a man supposed to. Some men wasn't even supposed to be in the room when their wife gave birth to their baby. So that was never.
It's just with the dynamic.
It's a different times, but still. That mentality should go because girls need their daddy.
Exactly.
That's all.
But he should. That's why I said I can agree, but I don't agree with how he put that shit out there because really, were you really trying to express, gloat about how much you got your household in control, or were you trying to address, I have a good girl, or what was the point of you doing that?
It could have been multiple different things.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have, and he should have knew that. He bit his own fucking tongue. He should have knew that would have been wrong for that baby girl. She's 18. I was 11, maybe a little younger than that. She's 18, so that's a different thing. Like, this is what me and my dad always goes to the doctor with me, and she probably goes to the doctor with her father. Right. That might be their thing.
Right.
But it's certain shit that you don't expose. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe you said that, Daddy, but what is wrong?
It did cause some type of strain on their relationship.
I'm sure it is.
For sure.
Based on what the media is saying. She unfollowed him. And then I think her and Tiny had like some little exchanging words going back and forth. So
what did Tiny have to say? If anything, she should have said something.
Right. But I picked up on vibes just based off of looking at that reality show. And see, that's
he controls Tiny. Sorry.
Well, I don't think he controlled Tiny.
I think he did.
Tiny do
at this point now.
Tiny do what the fuck she want to do. No, she respect him, but she do what the fuck she want to do.
Now. But when they first got together and she said on that show, she said, I did everything that you wanted me to do as a wife.
Yeah, as a wife.
But now,
stopping her career, I didn't agree with.
I want to do this.
Right.
Yeah. So it took her a while to get there.
It did. You're right.
It took her a while. She said that out her mouth.
Yeah, he had to conform to that. But now, look, they worked through that.
But he's a controlling spirit. Like I said.
But she accepted that when she married him. So.
But my thing is, he raised her daughter, basically. Was he in a room with her? Watching her pussy?
Yeah, he wasn't in there with Neek Neek.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody said no, he was in there with Neek Neek.
But how would
he didn't expose it, so we don't know.
True. Yeah, so he shouldn't have exposed her like that, and I think that was an embarrassment, and I think that was he was gloating as a man that feels as though he has to express how much control he has of his household, and I think that he was totally wrong for that. But far as being there for your daughter, I give him kudos to that. 100% for being a great dad. But you fucked up when you presented that to everybody. Right. That's between you and her. That's something that y'all do. Right. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it was meant for him to expose that because maybe he was doing too much. And it was meant for him to actually see all this shit. Oh, damn, maybe I'm going over the top. I done lost my daughter now.
So let's just say that her mom came out and said the same exact thing that he said. Would that make her just as bad?
If who mom?
If her mom, if Deja's mom came out and said, well, I still go to my daughter's doctor's appointment.
But that's,
to make sure that her hymen is still.
But you know what?
We still view it the same way?
I would kind of be like, damn, your daughter is going to be fucking and sucking dick pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? I would feel the same way because I still think that's a control issue because women can be very controlling too. Yeah. But the world wouldn't look at that the same way.
They would.
Mm-hmm. They would say, "Oh, that's her mom."
It's right. Because she's a woman.
She has a vagina too. Right. That's her mom. But you have a penis. You're not supposed to do this. No. But he was being controlling. And if it was her mother, she's a very controlling motherfucker as well. Because I'm 18, like, what you expect me, you know what I mean? What you expect me to do?
I didn't perceive it as him being controlling. I perceived it as him being a parent where he was trying to intimidate and put
fear?
Yeah, just the I mean, not to say it's control though, like I'm controlling your life. But it's just more so like, you know, like,
but that's still a sense of.
But I get that in his household. But when you share that outside your household, you're trying to show the world how much control you have of your household. And some things, okay, like I tell them, once I be like, you better come on now. They know I'm about to kirk out. When I say come on now.
Right.
And I'm going to share that. That's one part of control I have in my household. But far as sharing a personal thing about my daughter or my son, that's just like me saying, because I'm in the doctor's office with my son, Joel, I don't go in there with him no more. You know what I'm saying? But if he wanted me in there, I would be in there. But I'm not going to share on this panel, well, I make sure that he ain't doing shit. I watch when he cough and she holding his ball. Right. You know what I'm saying? I watch when she do that. But I'm not going to share that. It's like, that's fucking. But it's in
the same sense, like you saying, okay, maybe he trying to put fear and did it. That's just like with a man and a woman. And a man come up to a woman and try to put fear in her. You ain't gonna do this. That's still a sense of control.
That's control.
I'm controlling.
That's slave master shit.
You better not do it.
It is.
You better not do it. It's a control thing, because what they doing.
Well, he know the type of niggas that's out. He know the type of nigga he was. So he trying to protect her from the nigga that he was.
But you can't control shit. You cannot control shit at the end of the day. But I get what
he's still looking at his daughter as that's still my baby. And that's a precious thing to me. I don't think his intentions was to come off and put her in danger. I just don't get that from him. I think because of how the media picked it up and how everybody exploded off.
I understand though.
Reading it out of context, it made it bigger than what it was. But his intentions, I did not pick up on him being intentional to put her in any type of harm's way or just to say, I'm being controlling. I just think that at a certain point, he know that his daughter is 18. Mm-hmm. He know what type of lifestyle that they're in. Mm-hmm. He know what type of man is going to be attracted to his daughter. She's a gorgeous girl. Mm-hmm. Right? And I just think it's more so protecting her from that.
Yes,
but at the end of the day, she still.
I mean, she's going to do what she wants to do,
and she still has that choice at the end of the day to do whatever it is that she want to do.
We will always do what we want to do, but exactly. I just think that we need more parents.
I think he was
most times parents, especially men, when it comes to their daughters, they'll say, "Nah, I'll let the mother handle it. I ain't doing
shit." Yeah, exactly. But you know,
I don't think that it should be like that.
But it shouldn't be like that. And you're right to a certain extent about him. You know, what he was doing was right or whatever, but. Still, I think that this was a learning lesson for him as to being a controlling man. And a lot of controlling men. Exactly. You can control your household. No, not control your household. Just be the head. You know what I'm saying? Just be the head. It's a difference between being in control and being the head of your fucking household.
But being in control is not always necessarily a bad thing. It depends on what you're being controlling about. But controlling is, to me, order. When you're trying to control
that's being a head. Head is order.
Right.
Controlling means that I'm trying to put fear. Fear is not a good thing because once I give you fear,
I'm controlling.
You're going to
perceive it that way.
Fear, when a person has fear in their heart or they fear something, they're going to figure out a way to get around that fear and do other shit. Fear is not a good thing to have in your heart, period. That's some shit that we were taught from fucking in slavery. Right. We should not have fear. Yeah, we should not put fear in our kids. Me personally, I don't feel as though I should fear God. That's who loves me. That's who created me. Why should I fear him? He wants me to love me. He wants me to love him.
Well,
He wants me to worship him.
I think that shift in energy is changing in the world already because now people are taking the time out to learn the history and where it actually came from.
Exactly.
So now the narrative is changing. So I can't even go with that anymore.
Fear should not be put into that. And I think that she's gonna go on a fuck fest.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, she's really gonna be, when you put fear, you can't put fear in a woman. Pimps put fear in their fucking hoe.
And they do.
And what they do?
They do.
You know what I'm saying? They always come back.
Yep, but they eventually.
Come on now, he
do
pimped
the
his
fuck
daughter
they-
on live TV without even mentally knowing it. You pimped her out because you're so used to fucking putting fear and control and shit. How about being ahead and just be like, I know my daughter's straight. I don't gotta say no more. I have a good, intelligent daughter. You don't have to say, I'll go in the doctors with her.
Yeah,
you don't have to express that. Just do it. Do it.
That.
He fucked that shit up. He fucked his relationship up with his daughter. Now, this was a learning lesson for him to understand not to, I don't have to be controlling boundaries. It's boundaries. It's me being her daddy and a man in her life. You know what I'm saying? He represents whatever man comes in her life. He just fucked that up, that relationship with her.
And I said, my thing was the communication. I just felt like it's
what made it worse, it's repairable, but what makes it worse is that it's in the media and who he is. That's why I was disturbed with him because, like, nigga, you know this.
You know this.
Right. You're in the social. You've been in the light forever.
And you knew from you saying that one little piece, it was
people gonna run with it. They're gonna run with it.
It was gonna
especially because you're so intelligent when you talk and you know everything.
I don't think that he thought.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it was a learning happen. He put his foot in his mouth.
Right. And he's very intelligent.
God make things happen for reason, everything. Just even if it's a little thing, he put his foot in it. He put his foot in his mouth.
A call for
yeah, it is.
For sure. I hope that relationship is definitely repairable.
I hope so too.
I think that it
I think so.
Deja's a sweet girl. I mean, based off of the images and how we see
she just
them,
may have been a little
I think she's a little young-minded, but I think she's growing.
And he knows that. He doesn't think she's mature enough.
He don't want his daughter to be taken advantage of, and I think that's
I can get that.
Like,
I can definitely get that.
You're not gonna lie to me, so even if you think you gonna lie, I'm gonna be here every step of the way. I'm gonna make sure that what you're telling me is the truth.
But there's other ways you can do that because you know she's gonna have sex. If she start having sex, be there for her. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop nobody from having.
That nigga is scared that she gonna come across somebody that he knows.
But that's
one of them niggas.
But that's when you teach your child about safe sex. You can't prevent it. It's going to happen.
I'm quite sure he done had them conversations with her. I don't know.
I didn't see that on TV.
But you know,
I don't need to see that on TV. But I'm quite sure
we need to talk to our babies at the age of 7. My son is 7 years old. That sex is natural, okay? That's a natural feeling. We are curious at a young age about sex, and we put that fear like, no, you ain't supposed. You know, just you can't do that because that's when they get confused. Wow. Like yesterday, me and Nas was out all day. And we driving. He was like, Mommy, am I at the right age for my first kiss? This is what he said. Oh. I said, he said, because I'm 8. I said, I don't think it's too bad. It depends on the kind of kiss. Wow. But I don't think it's too bad, Nasir. He said, well, I'll just wait until I'm 10, maybe 9. Mm-hmm. I said, why you ask me about the first kiss? He said, because it's a girl that's sitting next to me in class.
You like her?
Yeah, he said, I like her, and she got a nose that looked like mine a little bit. And I was like, boy, whatever. And you know, he just started going into it. But that goes to show you have to talk to them about, you know, sex early. Well, we think about this stuff early.
And I have with both of my girls. And that subject, they're shy. Mm-hmm. I'm more open. I think and more like confronting to them. Right. I think me and Bear has been like that towards them, but it's more so them like, this is weird having a conversation.
I'm like that too.
And it's like at the end of the day, y'all on YouTube, y'all see things that you ain't.
And that's why it's important for us too.
Right.
It may be uncomfortable for them, but it's
We
very
still have those conversations.
right. It's still very important because
Gotta
our
be
kids
open.
are on so many different avenues
And they
of
see
media. They see things.
Right.
They know more than we think they know.
Yeah.
Like my 11-year-old shocks the hell out of me. I just feel like, yeah, hold on, time
How
out.
did you know that?
How did you know that?
Because
And
my
we
house,
need to sit down and have this conversation right now.
My household was built on fear. It was like, if you do this, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you. If you do this, you better not bring no babies in here. It was always a negative. It wasn't never embracing about sex. It wasn't never.
We talking
you know
about
what I'm
different
saying?
times because they came
That's
from a time
true.
where
But it's still people doing that
It
now.
is.
Well, but
It is.
because that's the generation
That goes back to T.I.
Right.
He was controlling his fucking daughter's pussy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She's 18 years old. She should go to the doctor by herself, to my opinion. But if that's with them together, if that's what they do together, that's what they do together.
Right.
He still was controlling her pussy. And I was being controlled. And it was fear put in me. I started having sex early.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I never thought of having sex. You know what I'm saying? But everybody was thinking,
right.
oh, is she
It's not good. It's not right.
it's not right. And that shit stuck in my head when the nurses were like, something's wrong with her because she wanted her daddy in the room. That stuck in my head. My stepdad would never put his hands on me and touch me sexually.
Right.
He was my daddy. So I'm like, what? And then it was more things, and even kids in school lied on me. Oh, I did this to her. I'm like, I'm not even fucking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Me and her was behind the bleachers. I'm not, boys starting rumors. And then it was like, other things in life. And then I was like, fuck it.
Let me
Let me see what this is about.
Right, since everybody's talking
You know
about
what I'm saying? Let me see what this is about.
Yeah.
And that's what it leads to. Fear leads to me fucking trying to figure that shit out. Let me see what all this fear is about, because I know you had me. I know you with him, and I know. So what is
why
it
is it
really
so
about?
bad for
Well,
me?
the good thing is this is the part where us as parents now in this new generation, we have that open gift to change that narrative. To be more open with our children, especially now, because when we talk about sexual fluidity and people are confused, they don't know if they're gay, who they want to be.
Exactly.
Now is the time where we can kind of change that narrative and say, okay, let's talk about the normal.
I'm sorry, something just came to my mind, and then I used to work with this lady when I worked in the hotel. This old lady, right? She said, my son was thinking about having sex at fucking 15, and I let this fucking potato rot. And I said to him, you want to know what pussy is? And I had him smell that rotten ass potato, and I told him, I said, you gonna turn him gay? Like, who wouldn't meant to? But that's fear.
Right.
Why would you mentally do that to your son?
That's true.
If I smelled the rotten potato and I knew, and my mother told me this what pussy smell like, I'm
We
sure.
ain't got no goddamn raw potatoes. We not even listening.
That's true. That's awesome.
That just popped in my head. So listen, we gonna go ahead and we listen.
With the little bit I got, we gonna choose that. I'm done.
We gonna bring this on in.
I do me a stand.
That bitch is canceled. She need to go back to sex ed and get retort again.
But she was trying to prevent her son from having.
All in all, we hope that a lot of these viewers, they take something away from this conversation.
Yes.
Have more conversation with your kids.
I just think that more dads
Communication.
need to be more communicative with their daughters, and parents in general.
Girls
Come
need their
together,
daddies.
talk to your children, embrace sex, because sex is not a bad thing. We are here to procreate. Period. So let's bring it on in, ladies.
All right.